Hello, hello. Welcome to Downtown Variety. When I typed that into Google earlier, it suggested that I say, welcome to downtown Vancouver. So I just thought I'd give Google that little win because we're going after them these days. So, but we're actually back in the studio at CultureHub at La Mama's 47 Great Jones Street Studios, which is very exciting to be here in the flesh with some people making something. And I'm glad you're here too, not quite in the flesh. So, Downtown Variety, this is a show we've been doing since March 20th, 2020. And there are a couple of things that make that possible. One, LiveLab. LiveLab is a browser-based media router that CultureHub has been developing for the past about 5 years. And we developed that so that we could link two locations in live performance. And the other reason that this is made possible is La Mama. We've got artists, baby. We've got artists all around the world, and that's why CultureHub built LiveLab in the first place, was to connect with people across borders and now across our street. So tonight, oh wait, excuse me, I think I failed to introduce myself. I'm your host, Mattie Barber-Bockelman, and I will be here in the flesh for the evening with you. Thank you. So tonight, we're exploring a little more deeply how we can have interactive performance online and how things can play out. The first way we're doing that is with a project called Volumetric Performance Toolbox with Valencia James, where we'll invite you to go into Mozilla Hubs with us, which is a 3D interactive environment. You can also stay right here and watch a video capture of that live space as well. I'll tell you how to do that later. The other way we're doing it is with a little audience participation. Yes, that means you. We need your participation. We need 2 lucky volunteers from the audience. And I will give you directions about halfway through the show on how to join. And this is the sort of thing that I need, yes, 2 participants for, and they're going to be very brave and not know what's going to happen. And so many people will be like, not me, I'm not going to do that. But these 2 brave souls are going to come up out of the audience, and we will thank them and give them applause, and they'll be very brave. And afterwards, they'll be like, wow, I'm really glad that I did that. Or they'll be like, that was a train wreck, and I had no idea what was going on. We'll see. But first, we have a very special artist in our presence here in the studio who's going to lead things off for us. First up, we have John Jesseron with a monologue in a rotunda. So this is a teaser for his serial work, Chae and a Void Moon, which began in the 1990s at the Pyramid Club here in the East Village. There are over 62 episodes already in existence, and he is continuing this endless story tonight with an intro, a teaser to this series, a monologue, which will be performed by Ben Forster playing Picablo, one of the main characters. So, that's what's going on, baby. John Jesseron.
As we approach the 5th year of the pandemia, it has fallen upon me to deliver to you the 3-minute explanatory apologia to the 4-decade-long serial Chae and a Void Moon, a guide for the perplexed. I am perhaps the most perplexed. There is no way into this story, but there is no way out of it either. So, I was just coming down off a great plastic surgery high when I suddenly woke up in the middle of the yearly vote by all the characters to kill off the character of Chae. But they know that in this story, you can be killed countless times but never die. They hope desperately, year after year, for the courage to break the spell, but we're all too greedy here for anything near courage. So anyway, I am Picablo. I have changed my name and dyed my hair yellow to escape the plague that is Chae. I've had several face jobs, and I look nothing like the original Pablo you all remember so well. I'll start by giving the traditional invocation. Strange, beautiful grass of green, with your majestic silver seas, your mysterious mountains I wish to see closer. May I land my kinky machine? Although your world wonders me with its majestic and superior cackling hen, your people I do not understand. So to you I will put an end, and you will never hear surf music again. Okay, so that's done. And yeah, the Salvatore Mundi look. 48 months of lockdown. Get over it. You, of course, can see that I am currently holed up inside the dusty rotunda of our family's turgid and inexact replica of the Pantheon. It's the last structure left on our devastated island chain of Estados Escondidos. As you can see, the dome has been poorly repaired, hideously redecorated. The last time you may have seen it was at the very moment of its collapse during the Elf War in 1988. I seem to be alone in here, but I sense the Infanta is lurking about. Who is the Infanta, you ask? Okay, let's start there. She was adopted by my grandmother, the Contessa Isabella, after she heard her singing in the streets of Rio de Janeiro. The Infanta's age is unknown. She could be 7, she could be 40. We can see and hear her, but of course, traditionally you, the audience, cannot. Whatever. The Contessa, as most of you may not know, wrote the song Ventura Highway for the Eagles. Oh no, I mean the group America. America. She wrote Desperado for the Eagles, yes? Yes, she did. Okay, so let's move on. I'm running out of time, so I'll skip ahead. Okay, I'll give a few highlights. In 1946, Chae married the Contessa in Saigon. He tried to kill her 5 times. They were divorced a year later. In 1938, in the Philippines, Chae ambushed a car carrying the Contessa's parents, killing the Contessa's father, Octavio. He blamed it on a disaffected group of peasants. By the way, Chae has diplomatic immunity in at least 50 countries. What else? Okay, I'll skip ahead, way ahead. Here's episode number 56. Chae, Fangitu, Almondine, and my mother, Svetlana, arrive in New York for the 2004 Republican Convention. The character of Dr. Sabartez is stuck in Fallujah selling rocket launchers and misses the convention. Chae is snubbed by Mr. Rumsfeld. Antonio has an affair with Almondine at the Ritz-Carlton. Chae arranges that Lolita, his former wife, be invited to sing at the convention closing ceremony. She sings War Pigs by Black Sabbath. Oh my God, the sun is coming up. Infanta, come on, let's get out of here. We'll pick up the story later. To be continued. The Infanta and I are getting in the last car left on the island. The character of Almondine, a record producer, is picking us up in a rowboat at daybreak. I can't tell you where we're going because we don't know. We are intersomnia between one dream and the next. I'm sorry I'm in such a dementia pandemiosis, but I've been in a K-hole since '86. We'll catch up with you later.
All right. So now we're just moving on over to switch some camera views and have a little conversation with not only Ben, but John Jesserin, the director of this work, who is here in the studio with us. Here Billy is switching the camera. Hey Ben, how you feel?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. And we got, yeah, John. Yes, you're on. You're here.
Here's my mic working.
Let's hear it. I think it is.
Working?
We're good.
Okay. Right.
Hey.
Hi.
So thank you both for doing this whole thing in here. And I just wanted to, so this is a serial, and this is, you know, you're sort of kicking off a new iteration or a continuation of this serial. So what's its origin story, Chae and Avoid Moon, and why did you start it then why did you make 62 episodes, and why are you making more now?
Okay, so just briefly, it started actually in the 80s. It started in 1982 at the Pyramid Club.
Oh.
Basically, I had been fired from a job that I had, and I was making little films at the time, and then I didn't have any money to make anything anymore. So I thought, instead of making the film, we would just perform it. So I knew actors, I had some little scripts and stuff like that. So I decided to do kind of television format and do a new episode every week at the Pyramid Club, every Monday night. So that's how it started, almost as a fluke. And then it caught on, and we ended up staying there a year, and every few years we do more episodes. So now I've kind of returned to a similar situation where we have to do something, and now, thankfully, we have the media to do it with. So.
And when you were doing it live, you made it a serial. Were there cameras involved, or was it just like a theater performance?
Eventually there were cameras. Always, actually, since the very beginning, there was always a television on the stage. Since the beginning, because there were pre-recorded actors speaking back to the live actors, which also came out of another necessity. The first episode, the actress couldn't remember her lines, so I said, we'll just videotape you, and the other actor will talk back to you. So that's what started that. So
I always think of like John Jesseron putting TVs on stage and that being this big innovation, but it's kind of crazy to hear that it just came out of absolute need and like, oh crap, this woman can't remember her lines.
I get it. It's tough.
Yeah. So how do you feel performing live, Ben? What's it been like for you working in this serial? What's the story with you?
Well, like John and I were talking before, we've been doing this type of, he'll send me material, I'll put it on video, he'll kind of splice it into whatever episode he's working on. And like, it's exactly how we did this how we prepared this thing. So we've almost been working in this pandemic way for a really long time, way before this started.
Yeah, that's kind of our LiveLab story too. It's like, well, we've kind of been doing this, and now it's kind of everybody's getting a little taste of what we've been up to. So what's next for Chae and Avoid Moon?
Well, I'm hoping to try to put together some kind of more mini episodes, but maybe they'd be like 20 minutes long, and have them prepared. Let's say, I'm not so into doing them live with people reading scripts, so I would have it much more prepared. And, kind of like we did here, we add in effects, have some music, and backdrops and stuff like that, which is a great innovation, rather than just performing it like live all the time.
And it feels very soapy to me, just from the intro monologue. Is that inaccurate?
No, it's sort of an anti-soap opera. It was called an anti-soap opera.
Nice.
Because it sort of takes that format, the serial format, and it completely runs circles around it because the plots are so complicated that it becomes actually sort of existential rather than soapy in the end. So, but
right.
Yeah, it was called an anti-soap.
Right, because soap operas are very satisfying in the way that things just tie right up.
Yeah, now things get tied up and untied here a lot. So.
Well, I can't wait to see who gets tied up next in Chae and Avoid Moon. Hey, and I found out that Ben performed in the Blue Man Group, which is another...
Yes, I'm not used to speaking on stage anymore. It's so strange, but wonderful at the same time.
Nice. Cool. All right, John and Ben, thank you so much.
Thank you, CultureHub. Thanks,
Yes.
Billy.
Thanks so much.
It's a blast. Cool. So next, we are going to take you to a virtual space, which you can join if you'd like by going to this link, which Billy will pull up very shortly and will appear where, oh, it is there. He has put it there. That is the link. We're going to take a very short interlude with John King playing a little bit of music while we get the next act, Volumetric Performance Toolbox, with us live. And in the meantime, you can open up this link if you'd like to explore the 3D environment. And then Valencia will introduce the project and give you a little more context and sort of ground us before we explore that. So stay right here if you'd like, or go to that link if you'd like. Do your thing. Valencia, hey. Hey.
Excited to be here.
Nice to see
I'm there.
you. Can you pull her volume up a little bit, please? One sec, I'm just getting your volume in the room.
All right. Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, it's just quiet. One sec.
Okay.
Hey, okay, I'm hearing you now. Pink and blue. I think we might have had a little coordination moment with that. That's great.
Yeah.
So, Valencia, you're in California.
Yeah, this is
but you're soon,
my apartment.
Yeah, but you're soon to be somewhere else. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Yeah, so hi everyone. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Valencia James, and I'm happy to present a project called Volumetric Performance Toolbox. It's a collaboration between myself, Glowbox, and Sora Bluey. And we've been researching how an artist can create an immersive online performance from their own living space for a virtual audience of real people using minimal equipment. As you know, all the theaters are closed. So what you're gonna see is a work in progress where I'm gonna be dancing in my living room, but streamed via a depth camera into a virtual online environment in Mozilla Hubs, which is a social virtual reality platform. And you're gonna see me dancing in Sayark's photogrammetry scan of the Annenberg sugar mill ruin that's located in the US Virgin Islands. And with this work, I've been thinking about Black femme representation in theater and digital spaces, and how virtual environments could be a possible site for healing and reclamation of these places that have been historically filled with a lot of pain and injustice. So I'm inviting you to come take a journey with me to this sugar mill ruin. It's a place where I feel deeply connected to as someone from Barbados in the Caribbean. And it's a place where my ancestors have toiled, and later on, where my uncle proudly worked as a manager. And you've gotten a link for Mozilla Hubs. So you're welcome to join us there. So if you want, and if you would like, you can, of course, see it in this live feed. So I'll be there, and Mattie is going to just say a few words to you now. So see you soon.
Yes. So Valencia is now taking her journey into Mozilla Hubs. If you'd like to join her there, you can go to bit.ly/DTV15, or it'll appear on this screen momentarily. We're going to be seeing Valencia. She's going to be a little bit pixelated, and you can soften your gaze as you journey into the Allenberg sugar mill, which they've created in this 3D environment.
We got sugar in we blood. Sugar in the blood. My great-grandmother had to leave her young daughter in the care of another to cut cane with her sons in Berbice, Guyana. Sugar in the blood. My uncle was a manager at many factories. Rose Hall in Guyana, Appleton in Jamaica. Sugar in the blood. My mother and her cousins learned to swim in the trenches of cane fields. Stealing cane was part of the everyday mischief. We got sugar in we blood. Sugar in the blood, sugar in the blood, sugar in the blood.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hey. You came back.
Yeah. I could show the setup. This is where I was dancing.
Yeah. So, can
Yeah.
you explain what's going on here?
Yeah. I can show the setup. So this is my living room, and then let me see. Yeah. So this is let me see. Yeah, you can see the depth camera.
Mm-hmm.
This is an Azure Connect. So basically, it's like it gives like regular video information, but also it can sense the depth of the room. Like it could sense how high my couch is, and
Mm-hmm.
can sense how far I am from the camera. And then we have another computer. It's hooked up to here, and so yeah, that's basically there's a live stream custom app that my collaborators at Glowbox developed, and so it's through that we're having the live stream happen. And well, it's kind of more complex than that, but
It is. It is.
yeah, it's like a minimal. So far, it's the most minimal setup. Our collaborator Saurabh, he is developing a lighter weight setup that doesn't require like a big expensive computer. The whole idea is how can this be more accessible to artists? You can see the audience. They're represented by avatars in this space. And so we're streaming live to Mozilla Hubs, which is a social VR platform. This scan is actually was open, kind of open source. The data was open source online, and so we had some amazing talents called Thomas Newlands of Glowbox. He was able to really get it to a kind of form that it could be used in this kind of environment in hubs. So
And yeah, I mean, it's so interesting, but I'm wondering why is bringing this into the digital space, and this, like, why are you exploring this technology in particular with this lens in particular? At the beginning you were talking about reclaiming this space for Black femmes, and why is that important for you to do with this technology?
mm-hmm. Well, it was basically in virtual space and also in theater space, there is not much representation of Black femmes. And so I found it really important that I would be represented in virtual space as I am, and not, as an avatar, because there's enough erasure as there is already. And I felt that, these spaces could be a place of healing. I found myself attracted to ruins, and then when I found this data online of this sugar mill, it kind of tied into the stories that I was hearing at that time from my family. I had just reconnected with my uncle, who was a manager at many different factories, and also my grandma had told me stories of being left in the care of another woman when her mom was going out for to cut cane. And I was also thinking about my Afro now as opposed to Afro future, seeing like what is that connection to me, and what does it mean to me. And for me, it's about connection to my ancestors and their customs, and really understanding who I am as a person.
And how has working this way changed your understanding, or yeah, what is your understanding of who you are as a person, and especially with your work and your movement in this place?
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, it's just understanding that I'm not alone. Because there are many times when I did feel alone. Being I used to live in Hungary, where I was like there were not many Black people there. So there are many times when I did feel alone, or there has been a sense of helplessness, especially in these times of a lot of pain, and after the George Floyd killing, and so on. So there's a lot that is going on that I feel like as a Black woman, I need to find that strength from within and understand that we're not alone, that we have a history that spans beyond slavery, beyond, what we're told, our is our place. And so I'm daring to go into a space that historically or traditionally is not a space where you see many Black men or Black people for that matter. And I just want to thank my collaborators, Thomas Wester, Ben Purdy, Thomas Newlands at Glowbox, who made this possible, and Sora Bluey, and also iBeam, who has supported the entire project. And we're looking now to make sure that any artists who are interested in doing this type of work, in creating your own virtual environment for your own performance to reach new audiences, please reach out to us at volumetricperformance@gmail.com. So we're looking to get this capability out there.
Which is what I did. I reached out via that email address because I also just felt like, you're providing this toolbox and saying, more artists, come play. Let's see what we can do with this space. And, I definitely feel kinship there with LiveLab too, because that's a platform that we have recently said, okay, everybody, it's ready. Come see what you can do with it. And the more, the merrier, because the more diversity in stories and expressions and experimentation, the more we'll discover together.
Yeah, and this is, in the time of the pandemic, unfortunately, we're gonna be in this for some time. So we're looking at this as a new place where new works can be made, where new collaborations can be had, and so, in a safe way. So, so thank you to you all for reaching out.
Yeah. And just to be clear, for folks who just saw that, the way that it's, we brought it into the live stream, which is not sort of there's not really a normal way to experience that, but that's not the way that, another way to experience that would be to go into the virtual environment, and you would be, one of these avatars who could move around Valencia's body and explore the performance that way in more of a 3D environment. But you'll learn more someday soon, I bet.
Yeah, so, and shout out to the guys in the behind the scenes. There's Simon Boaz, who is and Thomas Wester right now in Portland, Oregon, who is making this possible. I'm in Iowa City, so we've been doing this distance collaboration, but they're the ones who are getting the volumetric capture into Mozilla hubs and also doing all the direction behind the scenes. So big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much.
Hooray. Thanks, Valencia. It's so exciting to meet you and to match with you.
Here. Yeah. That's so cool. All right. See you. Thank you.
All right, everybody. It's time to get very brave. Yes, this is the moment that I'm asking you to join us on stage. Well, begin the process of joining us on stage, and you could win a free Porsche. Oh, sorry. Oh no, sorry, I got the wrong offer. I got it confused. Join us today, and you could participate in an experimental improvisation right now during this live stream. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be exciting. So, to do this, email info@culturehub.org, which is right here. And DeAndra, who's our lead technician, who many of you know and adore, and she will bring you into LiveLab, the first 2 people who email us, so you have to be quick. And she'll bring you into LiveLab, and she'll get you set up with the video. All you need to know is, or all you need to do is have a laptop, go to a website, and that's all. You will just participate by being there with your body. There's no voice. So that's the deal. Email us. And if you're, can drop us a line anyways, if you'd like, for whatever reason, even if you don't want to participate, email us. Okay. I'm sure our inbox is overwhelmed with inquiries currently. So next up, we are going to screen an excerpt of a work of video art by Malena Dayan and Sangmin Chae and their group. And this is called The Silent Twins.
You'll get over it fast. Don't die before me. Let me die. You'll get over it. And if I die, you're a fighter. You'll get over it. You're a fighter. Let me go. You always want to be the first. You always want to be the first. My heart is Jennifer. My heart. Stop, Jennifer. My heart. Jennifer? Oh, no. Don't leave me. Don't. Jennifer? 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 Jennifer, don't go first. Jennifer? Don't rob me of light. Don't rob me of light. Please dark shadow is over me. This sister, this lover, this twin.
All right. So now I'm joined by 3 of the group members who created this amazing video, which Malena Diane, Brianna, please remind me of your last name.
Hunter.
Brianna Hunter, I was going to say it, but I just wanted to make sure. And Sangmin Chae, who is the video designer, and he's also CultureHub's creative technologist, and, you know, the one who makes this entire show, you know, with us, with our team, happen. So it's very exciting to see some of his creative work featured, and to learn a little bit more about this collaboration that you all worked on together. So tell us a little bit about this project and where it came from. And I should mention it was created for Catapult Opera's a competition, and they did win first prize. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. We're still celebrating.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about this collaboration. Where did the idea come from, and yeah, how did it work?
So Catapult Opera opened this competition. The competition is called Accelerate, and it was a proposal of creating video art out of, it was an idea of creating teams, and we had to choose between selections from 4 contemporary operas, kind of contemporary, some are a little older, but all kind of recent. And the goal was that to pick one of these sections and create something for, with the setting of the pandemic, when
Right.
it's safe. And you should go to catapultopera.org, because you will be able to see our full video. Is 5 minutes long. It's based on The Silent Twins. It's an opera by Eroline Wallen. And also you'll see the other winners and the other finalists. And it's really interesting because every work is totally different.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really exciting.
That's
Yeah.
And so I've seen the whole video. And Sangmin, can you just talk a little bit about the design and what, the deep fake technology and where that was coming from?
Yes. First of all, Malena want to make some new opera. So I'm looking for many technology, and then now we are sticking in the facial recognize technology. So we are trying to the deep fake because we want to make there are already one person is already passed away. So we want to create like a reviver her in our video. So that's why we are choose the deepfake, the technology.
Cool. And Brianna, what was it like for you participating in this way? Because I feel like as a performer, you're used to live performance, right? Where you're the final sort of, you're the final, what's the word? You bring it to the audience. You're the final messenger. And when you're working on something that's edited, you're sort of one of the first messengers, and then the designer and the editor do the final. So I'm wondering what that experience is like for you.
Yeah, I think that sums it up perfectly, even better than I think I could have. I'm used to being the final piece almost, the puzzle. And here it's like, I have to imagine even more than I have to under normal circumstances, right? Because Victoria wasn't with me. I don't have like the typical set or anything really informing other than how I visualize the character and how Melina is asking me to act, where Sangmin is telling me to look, and because they have the overall vision of kind of like what needs to go where, and so in that way it's definitely different.
Yeah. And I feel like with this exploration, like the opera is a very dramatic, heightened form normally, and it's using technology as a vehicle for theatricality and connection and storytelling, as opposed to just like a layer to put on it to be sort of conceptual or cool, and or feel distancing. And I'm sort of wondering about that like creative process with the director and the designer, like how what was your relationship to using technology in such an innovative way for this piece?
I work with Sangmin in many operatic projects. This is our 5th, I want to say. And we always use technology in a way or another. This was the first time we used deepfake, and we loved it. And I would really like to bring it to the stage whenever we are able to go back to be with an audience in the stage. I think it's something we talked from the beginning. We can put it in a video now and share it as a video now, but this is something that could be really cool and really expressive on stage, and it has to do a lot with the drama, with the content of the opera as well. So I see technology is so important and so useful, and as you say, it highlights so many places, secret places, emotional places in opera. I'm excited about everything that can bring to our field.
Amazing. All right. Thank you both so much for joining us. Sangmin, thank you so much for joining us on the show. You can return to your post.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sangmin.
Thank you for having us. I'm a super fan of the Downtown Variety. I'm so proud to have been here today.
It's so great to bring. I think this is our first Tereke's kind of opera. So, but
just the first. Look,
yeah.
I brought big earrings just for you. I thought.
Oh wow, you noticed. Okay, perfect. You gave me a good segue. So Sangmin, good. Thank you. Brianna and Milena, thank you so much. Audience at home, I would highly recommend that you go and watch this video, which is on catapultopera.org, but not now, because next we have another incredible performance coming your way. But Milena gave me a really good segue that I've got to take advantage of, which is about these earrings and this outfit, which, you got to go big. Like, we have no reason to go out and get dressed. So, like, this is my one thing. And I, working with my best friend from my whole life, Verna Estes, we grew up on the same street together. And she's been making these fabulous jewelry pieces, bedazzling me, and she'll bedazzle you soon at an online store near you, and styling me. So that's been a real treat for me, if you don't know already. So now we are getting Nick and Colin into the show from Flesh Market Theater Company, and they are two Los Angeles-based artists. And this performance that we're about to see is an excerpt of a larger work, a play, I guess, which is called Well, That's Oz. Yes, the Oz that you know and love. And I think we are going to wait for these guys to join us, which may take a little moment. Hey, while we're waiting, why don't we just maybe explore John King's setup here, which involves his large violin, aka viola. And he's got he wasn't expecting this. He's got to put his dark shades on, and he's got a lot going on here. What do you have going on here, John?
Amplitude modulation, some pitch shifting, some reverb of different qualities, and granular synthesis.
I hope you got all that. I hope everybody got all that. So where are we at, folks? I see Nick here backstage with us, and he's got his set going on, and we're waiting for his partner, if that's okay. All right, so without further ado, Flesh Market Theater Company.
Do you ever get the feeling that nothing really matters as long as you have food in your stomach?
I get that feeling. Often. To fill your stomach is to live another day. You couldn't know the joy it brings me when I find food in my bowl. To fill your stomach is to move forward. You are doing so well, Dorothy.
Thank you, Toto. At least this dismal land of Oz has this rabbit to give us. Funny how a rabbit tastes on the nights we least expect.
Dorothy, do you remember the first time you learned to prepare a fish?
I do. Oh my goodness, those days. I chopped up the fish. I wrapped up the fish. Oh my God, those fish. This was all the same. You know, I felt so prepared today. For once.
I knew you could do it, Dorothy. You were prepared today and you are prepared for so much more.
Thank you, Toto. But we all know, none of us knows what to expect in a land like this. This is not Kansas. This is nothing like Kansas. It's raining, but there isn't a cloud in the sky. It must have been a tear from your eye, Dorothy. Everything will be okay. I thought I saw the face of the breeze. It must have been you sighing, Dorothy. Don't worry, we'll find a way. I'm waiting on a summer's day. The roads in your hometown always seem to lead you where you need to go. Is it because you know the roads so well, or is it because they know you? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you where any roads go right now. I don't know this road. Huh. Where do they go? These yellow bricks.
You should follow them, Dorothy. Follow the yellow brick road.
Toto, of all the moments in which we have found ourselves together, I had never imagined one of them would be us stuck here, surrounded by all this. This one's beyond us.
This is not the Dorothy I know. You have always harbored a world of potential inside of you much bigger than anything I could ever envision. Things may be dire at the moment, but I have no doubt this is a mere stepping stone on the path to the life you have been looking for, Dorothy.
That's a beautiful thing to say, Toto. Thank you. Thank you so much for all you've done for me. You've been a wonderful dog and a friendly one too, but well, I don't know if we'll ever make it out of here at this rate.
Don't talk that way. This is not the end. This cannot be nearly the end.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I've dragged you into all this.
All right. Flesh Market Theater Company. I'm similarly this. I do that. Oh my gosh, Colin's so fast. All right, here we are with Nick and Colin from Flesh Market Theater Company. Hooray, I'm applauding with my fingertips. So, Nick, I'm sure our at-home audience recognizes you from the from this short performance, this brief excerpt. But Colin, what were you in this show? What were you doing?
Yeah, so I was controlling Unity. I pre-programmed a lot of what Toto was doing and what the cameras were doing, but I was making sure everything was on time with what Nick was doing.
So, what were we seeing? We were seeing real Nick, aka Dorothy, and then Toto. How did you program Toto, and what was that world that we were seeing?
Well, the world you're actually seeing was photogrammetry scans of an old oil drum that we felt really fit the sort of scape of the piece. And then Toto was recorded in motion capture, actually. My teacher was able to use his motion capture facility and help me record some of those movements. And so that's what I edited in. And then the face movement was just hand animating the jaw, essentially.
Wait, so did you have a dog that you were animating?
Well, it was recorded as a human figure, actually, who was pretending to be a quadruped.
Wow, I didn't know any of this.
I think it bears mentioning. So we performed this piece at Edinburgh Fringe last year, and we had Colin, in his multiplicitude of genius, created this wonderful puppet that we had. And from what I've seen of Toto, it's very similar to what Colin physically created. So he managed to make this digital version of a puppet that we already had.
Wow. So, Colin, I feel like that means that you're some, incredible programmer. Is this a new skill that you've acquired, or is this just something you keep in your back pocket?
Well, I mean, I had gotten into development for VR in the past couple of school years, but now that live theater is dormant, I've been leaning into this a lot and learning the possibilities with CG animation. So it's fairly new for me, yeah.
Nice. Killing it. So,
Thank you.
I'm sort of wondering for Colin, what was it like to sort of act through this, or what was your experience of performing through this animated puppet?
I mean, for me, like, I feel more like a stage manager than a performer. And Toto himself, to me, is the performer. Like, that digital, avatar, to me, is the actor in this piece, along with Nick.
Well, and then, so Nick, for you, what was it like to perform, with this great co-star?
I think it's super fascinating because we're moving into a space, obviously because of the restrictions, we're moving into a space of digital performance in one way or another. And I think something that, and Colin obviously kind of pioneered this with our company, was this idea of melding live performance with CG performance. And I think it's a really interesting space because we've used what's the word, or Siri-esque voices that are pre-recorded, like Google Translate type voices that are pre-recorded with our work. But acting with them in a digital space is really interesting, where it elicits different kinds of feelings and different kinds of experiences, where when I'm in a space, because we've done this piece before, and this is traditionally a live piece with 6 actors, I think, if my memory serves me correctly. But now doing it with just in Toto as a CG and me as a person in different spaces, it elicits a totally different kind of response, which is really exciting. Especially as an actor and as a writer, it's like being removed from a space, and when we're existing in a space that's almost similar to a FaceTime call,
Yeah.
it elicits different responses. This performance is completely different to what we did physically. And I think that's super exciting and super wonderful.
Yeah, just to add to that, like we're inspired by the idea that if this stage is our digital platform, then like the artifacts that come with that digital world are what we're attracted to, you know. So as this stage, like we're leaning into that as much as we can.
Artifacts? Is that what you said?
Yeah, the artifacts of the digital world, as Toto's this sort of laggy digital avatar acting with a human, because that's just what we can do.
Right. So that's just sort of, it's the new, you know, with John Drezerin earlier, you know, a woman couldn't remember her lines, and that's why he put a television on screen back in the 1980s. And so we have all these new sort of like opportunities and limitations that is just opening up a new world of, meaning making through the art, not just like experiences and.
No, you're totally right. It's not less and it's not more. It's just a different plane of art making.
Well, rock on, you two, and I want to see what comes out of your minds and bodies next. I mean, actually, that was a really bad thing to say, I feel. I'm hearing it back. Want to know what comes out of your writing mind next.
Please.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. We're getting through it. So next we have a video piece by Stephanie Battenbland, who is an interdisciplinary global artist who interrogates contemporary and historical culture. She situates her work at the intersection of dance, theater, and site-sympathetic installation. She worked on this piece as a part of the Guggenheim Works in Process Commission. So, Stephanie Battenbland. right, folks, we're about to go to our last performance of the night, which is the one with two very brave participants from our audience. So in just a moment, we will go to that piece by Nun Tani and Yu Guang. So with a quick interlude by John King.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us today. We're here, this is Nan, I'm Nan, and we're here with my collaborator Yubong, who's going to appear in a second. And this is Ariana and Jadis. We've never met before, so hi and welcome. This piece that we're about to see is called MASS, which stands for Mass Connectedness. And it began with us during the beginning of the pandemic, where we started to question what it means for live performances to be online, and like what we gain and lose by going online. And we realized that while we're able to connect to millions of people at the same time, we lose a sense of closeness. And it's as if we have to speak out the words for you to hear us. And the sense of touch or like the intimacy is gone. So this piece was made to sort of experiment on that and really try to see if we can actually connect through just moving without words. So while you're in the performance, what we would like you to try to do is to pay very close attention to each other and to us, and just to really try to connect with us. And when we begin, if you could pop out the window that says NYC, and just have that on full screen. So don't look at yourselves on the LiveLab window, just the NYC pop-out window. So you should see the window with 4 people now. Okay, and please mute yourselves on LiveLab. And we are going to begin now. Sorry, we lost one person. I think Jadis must have closed the window. So we'll just wait for a second for her to come back on LiveLab. So just now I asked Jadis to pop out the screen and have the LiveLab in the background, but I believe we accidentally closed the LiveLab window, so we lost her. And we're just waiting for her to connect with us again before we begin. Sorry about that. Hi, Ari. Okay, so
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Could you?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, be right back.
So Yari just joined us, but she joined with a different screen webcam resolution, and so she's coming back on again. Just 1 second. Ah, you're back.
Sorry.
No problem.
Clicked on everything wrong.
Okay, we're back. Could you pop out the window with 4 people? So on the feed that says NYC, next to the microphone, there's a little square. Okay, and we'll start now.
All right, folks, that was our show. Thank you so much for being here with us. We will be back on November 13th, Friday the 13th. Early voting begins tomorrow in New York City and is happening all over the country, if you might know. So go vote, do your thing, phone bank, do what you can. Let's do this John King can take us out. Thank you so much.